was trying to run up to this truck just to go over there.
Yeah.
Go! There's Z's left! Push through! Push through! We have to push through hard!
G8.
Go, 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 go,
Wait, did I get you? No. I'm pretty sure I got.
So we had time to take another break between mission 2 and 3, which is good. We avoided some midday heat, and that allowed Nick, Sebastian, and Chris to come back from their lunch break and rejoin our Brotroit and Friends Co., which was largely the same people from mission 2.
We're not approaching. We need to get the generators back online.
We have 6 of them.
Throughout campus, yeah. And we need 6 groups to turn each of them on. The more groups we hit, the higher the success rate.
I guess the best way I can describe mission 3 is that it was a search and puzzle solving task. With the game's story, we successfully figured out that from mission 2, those creatures we found that were mutated were actually zombified humans. Shocking. Whoa. Who were mutated by cordyceps fungus that's found in infected ants, which is like a known natural thing that happens. So that's a cool tie-in to the safari theme and everything. So I guess with that information, GeoTree wanted to create some sort of cure, but they needed power. Our power was out, so our head of security tasked us with finding generators around the region to turn back on, to get power back to the facility, and hopefully create a cure to solve the issue. So what that meant for our actual gameplay is that each group was required to solve a small puzzle in different locations that would need to be found in a specific zone that we were given, which there were 3 of across campus. And once we did that, it would repair the generators. So we had 6 groups at this point, so 6 groups, 1 generator each, so 6 puzzles that had to be solved. And that puzzle would have to be solved by a scientist role-specific human. And our group was given the location of our puzzle outside the Student Health Center in Zone 1. Once that was completed, our group's moderator would then tell someone who was a mercenary role on our team of the location of a security locker where additional supplies would be found. And this would be the supplies needed to create the amphibious vehicle. It was like PVC pipes, some fittings, and I think a squishmallow that I wasn't sure what its purpose was. But once found, the pieces would have to be carried back to the student union by the human teammates and then built based on the schematics left at that location. And this was like a massive thing. I'll put a picture in that Wormy provided for me. But I mean, you physically had to move it with multiple people. So I think the mechanic was that you had to have 6 people move this thing. And I think there was some like other mechanics, like you could only be tagged a certain way, like you had to go in and out of the vehicle a certain way, but it's not really that necessary to describe all that. Once they built that vehicle, they then had to take that vehicle back out into the region and find squishmallows around campus, basically these little stuffed animals, and then return them back to the student union, which would end up being useful for the next mission. But again, this is not required to be done, so this is just an additional task. Supers from last mission were also active into mission 3, but the blue tank variant was now active alongside the yellow variant, so we had the sock grenade tanks as well as the Mega XL tanks. So quick disclaimer, I was having sinus issues all day. I think it was just from like the climate outside and the humidity and the heat, and then coming back inside with all the AC. But by this point in the day, it started to really affect me. I was sniffling a lot during this mission. Like, you will hear that. I'll try to cut out as much of that as possible. It's worth bringing up because it did affect some things that happened in the mission 4, but I'll just put that out there for right now. With that out of the way, our group was given our zone and our mod Nico. So it was cool. I got to hang out with Nico for a little bit, even if he wasn't a part of our human team. He was there in spirit.
Good luck out there. Have fun. Then don't.
Oh, ow.
Sorry, you okay?
Why you gotta hurt me?
Because you like it, question mark?
Why does your love hurt?
If I cut my hair, I lose 80% of who I am.
All right, Samson.
I don't need a personality.
Never
my
have,
curls.
never will. So with the mission objective given, our mod given, we were free to rush out of the student union and begin mission 3. And rush we did because there was a storm heading our way, a literal storm. We knew there was rain on the forecast all day on Saturday, but we weren't necessarily sure when until like the day prior. And then it finally said that it was going to come in around 5, and I think it was like 4-ish now. So this was supposed to be like an hour 15 long mission, and they were like, if we can, let's try to get this done quick, right before the rain comes in, and then hopefully between the gap between mission 3 and mission 4, which was also longer anyway because it was our dinner break, the rain would come through, do its thing, and then by the time mission 4 would happen, the rain would be out of the forecast. So it was really a race against the clock.
Do we need to just follow you, or are you giving us
Oh
a
no,
choice
I'm
of
not
where
an
to
escort. I'm immune.
go? Are you giving us a choice of where to go, or are we?
Oh, I'm just taking you where to go because of that.
Oh, because I forgot it's one target.
If you look in front of you, you'll
Yeah.
see a giant fucking thunderhead.
I was brainstorming that it's a
You want to know what cloud that is? That is cumulus.
That's a cumulonimbus. Holy shit.
That's the rhino
The
cloud that saves the giant
cumulonimbus.
peach. That's what it is. That
Oh.
shit scared the fuck out of me.
Man,
when I
what a
was kid.
throwback.
Hang a left.
Why are we all
We're going to
there?
So if we have done this, it's hilarious. This has been our exact route 3 missions in a row.
Dude, I love greenhouses.
Isn't this interactive gameplay? Don't you love it?
You know what?
Because our zone started in the northern border of Craver Road, we again, for the 3rd time that day, traversed up the walking path beside that road, but this time hooked north towards the Student Health Center, which would be the location of our generator puzzle.
Just the generator.
Oh, shit! And Nick, there it is. There's your generator.
Let's go start that one.
It's already on. We're good.
Hit him, baby. Let him have it, Mac. You the champ, Mac, baby.
Why are you emoting?
Nothing's
Nothing's happened yet. Stop emoting before the match begins. It's like the worst.
The 9 hours outside hasn't removed the brain rot from me.
No, if anything, it's fermented.
Fire while
Yeah,
you're
like
outside
a
of
holster blast.
We're looking for a box. We're looking for a
Yeah,
box.
but that's the issue with health.
I'm gonna go check for the box.
What are you, Roddy Rich?
You want a box, son?
Stairs, we're gonna, hey, Trailblazers.
There's a box up here. This is the health center, right? It says health center?
Spud.
Yeah.
Yep.
Health and well-being.
What was the box like? Because there was a black box there on the corner back there.
Oh, sure, that might be it.
It was like a toolbox looking thing.
That's almost certainly it. Where was it?
Back around the other side of the little bump out there.
I think
Okay.
rat trap.
That's a rat trap.
And they say it's a rat trap.
Yeah, it was a rat trap. Yeah, it's a rat trap. Oh, there, you know what? In the Student Health Center, there's an area on the inside with picnic tables. I guarantee you it's that. Yeah, it's probably in there.
Yeah, it's probably in there.
Yep, yep. I know this campus way too well for not being here only twice.
I see a box, so we're good to go.
Hell yeah.
King. Do you want to just grab the box and we move, or do you want?
Hey, everyone else like, wait.
Who's whacking?
Yeah.
We whacking?
Wait, it's okay, it's okay. He just found the box right here. We don't need a bushwhack now.
Thank you.
Huzzah!
Oh, I found the box back at Student Union. Let's go.
Yeah, we found the box in Student Union. We're gonna just go back.
Yeah, mission accomplished. Woo!
Why is he running off?
All right, he's getting the box. He's moving the box to Student Union. We're going back. We don't want to be caught.
Nico made the decision to just grab our box and move it out of the zone for us instead of having us bushwhack because the storm was rapidly moving in their direction. As you can hear, that thunder was starting to really roll in. So hopefully we could get this done quick. But after Nico told us that, he's just still standing there, and we weren't going back to the Student Union. So something was off here.
Communicated nothing to us besides fucking out that way.
I'm letting him
Oh,
know.
it's not the toolbox. Those are the supplies.
Oh, great, man.
What box am I looking for?
Okay. Could we bushwhack to that door and get in the shade there? Because there's no shade over here.
Honestly, just keep moving. It is not.
Where are we going, sir?
Like the horde? Are we? Was it a capital?
Hey, guys, this way.
This way. Bushwhack. We have to bushwhack.
Mod says it's okay. Mod says
So with that realization that what we thought was our puzzle box wasn't our puzzle box and actually was a supply ration from Mission 1 that wasn't properly found, we weren't sure where to go next. We did know that the zombie horde was apparently coming directly for us down the path we were going to take to get back to the Student Union. So our mod recommended that we bushwhack past that quad, get into the other side of it, and escape into the parking lot attached to the health center. which in hindsight didn't really make much sense. We're not really supposed to go that way, but he had a lot going on here. He was trying to figure out where this puzzle was supposed to be, if we were in the right area. It was really hot, so we're also dealing with like the heat. The storm is rolling in, and that's kind of scary, and we got these zombies here, so I don't hold that to anyone, but it was just a mess. One important thing that we weren't told was that once we got to our puzzle location, every team's mod was supposed to text a specific group for the zombies and tell them that, like, hey, there's human activity by the student health center, and then that was supposed to be kind of a clue that, like, hey, head towards that group and try to give them some trouble. I think in general that's just like a really cool mechanic to have, like, an activation happen once you reach a certain threshold where zombies then like start to follow you. But you know, we were in the thick of it, being chased by a bunch of, basically a whole horde of zombies, and things were looking really bad for us. So I think it's safe to say we can thank Nico for that. So thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Move forward.
All
Step
right,
forward.
come on.
We're in the road.
We're working on it. All right.
Yeah, you guys can't go forward until we take this
We'll
out.
try and make space so everyone can get out of the road.
Once
The bushwhackers putting people in danger. Please hurry. Yeah, zombies are coming.
Go as long as you can.
tape.
Oh my God.
Tape. All right, move forward. It is taped.
Come, tape. Give me tape.
All right, that'll be enough to get down to. Yep. All right, run, go.
Keep it pushing.
Down so we can keep moving.
All right, we're good.
All right, move.
I'm seeing nothing out here.
He's gonna call in and then we'll see where are we. Let's hang out in the shade for now.
Zombies behind.
Unicorn, you're needed back there.
Where's my blaster? Where's my blaster?
Unicorn,
Well, we have zombies right there.
Yes.
we gotta keep bushwhacking.
Someone give me a roll. Someone give me a big roll.
Keep bushwhacking.
Well, there's no rolls.
If you're not bushwhacking,
We needed to bushwhack, and we needed to bushwhack fast. But here is where I will interject my biggest criticism of this event. It's the lack of supplies. So, again, through each mission, each group was recommended to carry at most 10 rolls of flagging tape and a roll of duct tape, replenishing between missions if necessary. By mission 1, most groups had finished their rolls. We had finished all 10 rolls, and so by mission 2, we were looking to get 10 rolls back. But we noticed there wasn't enough to go around for everyone to have 10, so I think we just divvied it up equally. So I think our group had 6, and every other group had 6 rolls from there. By the time we got to mission 3, there wasn't any fresh rolls left in the venue. There was only the rolls that people still had on them. The good news is the major zones in the center of campus had almost completely been bushwhacked, so that was no worry. We had done our job there. But zones on the outskirts of campus that would be important for later mission objectives, like the one we're currently at, were completely untraversed, and it was going to make some really, really big complications later in the day. Because not only are we not allowed to move freely based on the mechanic present, which on its own is a fine mechanic normally, it was now making missions completely impossible as soon as the tape had been entirely exhausted for the event.
Do we have ribbon here?
No, we need, and we don't have, where's the ribbon? Here, give me that.
I thought you guys had it.
No, we only have one.
We have ribbon. We're good.
Stand on that. Yeah, put it down. Shit. Then the main issue here is that everyone is so focused on not getting tagged by all these tanks and zombies, is that they really weren't focusing on protecting our bushwhacking teammates or providing any supplies that they still had. Sebastian getting tagged out was something that could have been easily avoided, and Dart Dragon, for the most part, was like mocking our team and for allowing that to happen, which, to be honest, I mean, he's right. Like, I don't understand why people didn't help Sebastian at all there. All right, let's... Where's the tape?
Is Blue Vest a special?
Where the f*** is the tape?
If you're up here and you don't have stuff, you're back.
Where is the tape? So between that moment and just standing in the front, knowing people probably had supplies and weren't getting it to us because they weren't listening to us, I did lose a bit of my cool here while trying to get their attention. I'm not really happy that happened, and I wish it didn't happen anyway, because I don't think I should be yelling at anyone in this moment or any moment in particular at these events. But I left it in because I think it's important to clarify that HvZ can make communication a challenging task within your teams, and the elements of the heat and exhaustion certainly don't help that. It's always something you're going to have to battle with, which is something I mentioned last year as well. So again, I didn't want to fully cut this moment out because it is a part of my experience, and it also does emphasize the issues in our lack of bushwhacking supplies, but I hope it can also become some sort of a lesson for others coming into an HvZ Invitational, and something I certainly try to get better at every year.
All right, you know, that's good enough. We need more ribbon, or we're just gonna go. I think we're good.
Are we out of play? Are we out of play?
We're not out of play.
We are not out of play.
We are not out of play in the road. However, there is fire in the road. I'm just sad about how that reflects on me. Where I'm like, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Right, but until people know that.
Our mod decided to relocate us back onto the main trail by moving us across the parking lot and across the grass there. It was like really awkward, but they said we were okay to do it. And another mod who I think was shadowing the horde helped him with that decision.
Let my people go.
We're going back to Union, I thought.
Oh, you're getting your next box, I thought. The box wasn't there. Yeah, I know. I know where they are.
That mod also informed us that our puzzle wasn't in that location, but it was actually, I think, closer to Martin Hall, which is like a pretty far ways. It's like a block away.
So so it's up here. Great. No. It's not here at all?
It is that way.
I'm still not necessarily sure if Nico just got the location wrong, or if someone prior who was setting this event up put it in the wrong location, but it didn't make us feel very good about this mission at this point, and we didn't have any bushwhacking supplies to get into Martin Hall, and we had a whole zombie horde on us, so it really felt like this mission was a wash.
Left to right! All right, left. Go, 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 go.
Hey, fix it, Ray. No. Going that way. Going that way.
Yeah, we know where to go. Like,
Yeah, we haven't even found our objective yet. We like have a board on our ass.
oh, bro.
And we're just getting on this side. What?
I am about. Oh my God, this happened.
The storm was heading ever closer, so we just decided to get back to the student union, which is a bummer for everyone involved. I know in large part this mission had issues in its structure based on some last-minute changes. Our mod was originally supposed to be Cass, but they got sick, and a few other moderators couldn't do their role for Mission 3, so plenty of mods were substituted in, like Nico, and I think that created some issues. Another issue, I think, is that this mission was designed for 12 groups, each with their own puzzle, which later turned into 6 groups, each with 2 puzzles, so still 12 puzzles. And then because the rain came in, they really wanted to shorten this mission, so they turned it to 6 groups with 6 puzzles. So within all those changes, some happening before the event, some happening right before Mission 3, I think a lot of things became kind of clustered and messed up. This is a large invitational, and there's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of puzzles you got to do and things, and props you got to put out in the field. So I don't blame this on anyone or anything. It's a massive event. Shit happens, but I do have to clarify that.
Shoot him anyway.
I think this ultimately goes back to what is now becoming my number one rule of HvZ, now that I've done a couple of MWARs, is do not take away player agency. And at this point, a lot of that agency was lost because we didn't have our puzzle where we needed it to be. But also, again, the bushwhacking thing stopped us from being able to traverse where we needed to go. And it just felt like we're being held back by something that's not our fault. And it's taking away our motivation to do anything. So it makes us want to quit, which also sucks for the zombies who are trying to tag us because it makes it feel like they're not given a proper chance to do their job. Once you take away player agency, it can create some dramatic effects for the rest of the event. So yeah, I mean, we had to abandon. We headed back to the student union the way we came in. In between missions 3 and 4 is where the rain finally gave way, which is great because we were able to avoid all that, thankfully. Our Airbnb group and Nico got dinner, and they spent the rest of the break trying to shoot off suction cup darts that got stuck to the glass windows of our banquet hall staging area with some of the outlaws they had, and they couldn't knock off a single one. So get your aim up, guys.
I got it from Whoa!
I could only watch because by the end of mission 3, the sinus issue that I had talked about developed into a serious pressure in my sinuses. I had this horrible front head migraine. I tried to get like a nap in to make it better, and it didn't help. I didn't have any medicine either, so that would have helped too. But it was all that. I think it was just all that sniffing, and then me not being able to breathe properly. It just kept building up pressure in here. I debated on skipping mission 4 because of how painful everything was, but I still had footage to get for you guys. And I rarely do events anymore. This was like the first event I had been to in basically a year, so I didn't want to quit on it. I wanted to get the final mission of the day done, and then hopefully I could get home and sleep it off. Mission 4 was, I guess, another search and puzzle solving task, but with a slight twist. As for the game story, due to the power being restored in that geotree facility, I guess they were able to construct some sort of cure or some sort of system that could cure the fungus, the overgrowth in the jungle, which was called wards, or the wireless Among Us root defense system. What? So the goal was to put it out in the jungle and turn it on and hopefully solve the issue. So in order to complete this, we had to set up the wards in 4 locations across campus that Dave's Geotree members were diligently guarding. Each sort of mission and narrative section was mostly narrated by Dave, who was played by Drac, and Nico helped a lot with that. They were doing, they were in costume. They looked like, explorers, had these like awful Australian accents. It was pretty funny. So by the time mission 2 and mission 3 had ended, our numbers were sufficiently dwindled as humans, and we were down to just 4 main groups, each given our own colored wristband that represented what group we were into, which was yellow, pink, green, or blue, and those wristbands were pipe cleaners that we put on us, or at least that, or put it on our gear. So our job as members of each individually colored group is to find a mod on campus, one of the 4 locations that matched our color. Each mod had their own color with them, whether it be green, pink, yellow, or blue, but we wouldn't know which of the colored mod locations were where on campus before starting mission 4. What we were told, at least, was the location of all 4 mods. One would be outside of Oak Hall, one would be at tables outside of Prospector Hall, one would be in the plaza by the Cone Center, and one would be at the green space of Woodward Eagle. So it would take a little bit of trial and error to find that mod, so with good communication work between teams, it should be easy, or with poor communication, it would have been a lot harder. Once there, we would find our moderator with a bucket with 4 items in it, each in different colors of the groups. So there's a green item, a pink item, a yellow item, and a blue item. It was then our job to find an item in each bucket from each mod that matched our team color, and then transport those items with our color back to our main mod that matched the color. So to explain some of this, I was on the green team, and we got, a green wristband. So if we found a pink moderator, we would find the green item that was in their bucket, and then transfer that item back to our green moderator. And we would do this for the other 2 mod locations, until there was 4 green items in our green moderator's bucket. Because, of course, one of those green items started in the bucket to begin with. You, of course, couldn't move any item from any bucket that wasn't in your team colors to make things not complicated or screw anything up. And you specifically couldn't move your colored items until you found your moderator bucket first, which I thought was bizarre. I didn't understand why that had to happen, because if you found your moderator last, right, if you went to pink, found one and it was yellow, found one and it was blue, and then finally found your moderator at the end and they were green, you then had to traverse back through campus again to all of those moderators, find your items, and then bring it all the way back to your moderator again and deliver all that. So you might go across campus like 3 separate times. I thought that was a little bit ridiculous, especially for being the last mission of the day. Didn't know why that was the case, but that was the rules. But once that was all done successfully, that wasn't the end of the mission. What would happen past that point was a mystery to us, so I guess we would figure it out once we did it. But if any of this is confusing to you in the way I've described it, hopefully it's not, because I'm going to make some graphics that'll make this easier. It was just as confusing for me, even being a part of the mission. I'm sure it was probably just a migraine that made it impossible for me to understand what was going on. But, I mean, I'm reading it directly off of the rule sheet they have, and it's not the easiest to decipher in texts. So visuals may be good for some stuff like this, guys. Because, like, I really don't think our group knew what we were doing. We were like, wait, we're supposed to go to the green one first, right? And, like, I don't think we realized we were supposed to do stuff at every moderator location, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just misreading stuff. Beyond that, all 3 supers were still in play, and now all 3 tank variants were active. So now the missile tank variant was active, so we needed to have some blasters with missiles to be able to stun them if we came across them. Again, we had dinner before this, so, you know, we're all coming back from dinner. We found our group of Alex, Adam, Ray, Brain, all them, and apparently they decided during dinner that because Alex's group from last year held off zombies during the last mission in some sort of like blaze of glory with Kelsey Pandora, who wasn't with us. She was actually one of the lead zombies this year, part of the OZs. They tried to do something similar this year again in having some like grand standoff, but instead of having them all together, it was going to be everyone except Kelsey against Kelsey in her horde of zombies. So I guess during dinner they were texting back and forth and kind of taunting each other, talking about a location to meet for their final stand and everything, and informed us that they were going to go on a suicide run and they likely were not going to be returning as humans. So if I wanted to join them, I could. But for the rest of the sane humans that were a part of that group, we decided it was probably best to split off and find other groups we could kind of fill out into and allow them to have their blaze of glory. The next best group in my mind was the green team with Rogers and John as our mods. John was someone who was on our human team from last year, who is now a mod this year. It had another John, who I also talked about last year, his friend Connor, Vader, Calvin, all players who I knew had plenty of experience and a lot of firepower, so I was totally pumped to finally get a mission with them, as well as Spazer, someone who I had met in Mission 2, Michael, or Burrito, who was basically our team lead, Chase, Chris, and Oliver, who are part of Team Frumble. Nick was also with me. Chris decided to sit out. Sebastian, of course, is a zombie now. Among a dozen other players I didn't get the names of. Scotty, I think, was in another group now. And BroadcastZach, I think, was in the blue team. So our numbers were all over the place now. 3, 2, 1. Aww, ruined it.
Okay, who's the little leader for this group?
Blue group, keep going. Did you say
Okay, right.
No, you're good. No, you're fine.
You too. Good luck, man. Good luck. Yeah. So before Mission 4 can begin, as per usual, we're heading down the steps of the Student Union, about to head outside into this gloomy weather for the final mission of Saturday. And things really did feel like we were heading towards certain doom. BroadcastZach sums it up incredibly well on his blog post review of the event. I'll link his blog in the description. It's incredibly well written. He has some really colorful dialogue on it. It's really funny. And his like Mission 4, again, being on the blue team, was nuts. It's really worth reading his whole experience in that. In his blog, he likens the humans to the soldiers of Gondor that were sent out on that suicide mission at the end of Return of the King, where, you know, Faramir is sent out by his father, the king, to liberate that city that's overrun. I don't know much about Lord of the Rings. I'm probably getting stuff wrong, but I do know that from the movie. So I thought that was pretty poignant. You know, in the blog, Zach says that there's something cool about knowing you're marching to the undead horde and no one expects you to win. I thought that was just really cool. And it was very accurate because what we saw leaving the Student Union perfectly summed up why he felt that way.
Yeah, that's fine.
Excuse me, guys.
Yeah. Blue group, let's go.
You guys are safe. They're not going to come near you.
Let's wait for blue to leave.
So just as we're leaving the Student Union, the horde is just like hanging out outside, like, hey, how's it going, guys? Like, good luck, have fun. So groups blue and green were allowed to just leave Student Union with a 3-minute head start before the zombie horde was going to chase after us. So we had to move as fast as possible and get out of Dodge before they went on the march.
Green, Justin.
Let's go! Let's go, green! Let's go!
Green, go.
This way.
Right now it's coming down.
Rain.
What?
Go that way. Go that
What the? Jesus. So finally taking a different direction out of the student union, we headed towards Oak Hall, which we knew would be the location of one of our mods. So it was worth checking before we made it deeper into campus.
I'm aware.
Jeez, what the
Show
fuck?
your gun if you find Nightingale, you can. Zombies will be on our tail.
I know. Map, which way's up?
Justin is out of business.
Which way's Oak? Oak is this way.
Gun. Freeze.
We're going here.
We can't, it's not bushwhacked.
Aim the bushwhacking spot or I will straight up kill you. We are mission 4. 0 tolerance now. Alright, we should probably start bushwhacking if we're gonna go in there because that's Oak. That's actually Elm.
Bushwhack.
Bushwhack.
It's all in there, right?
Oak is there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Oak right there.
Hey guys, the horde is only stopping for 3 minutes, and so they're going to start hitting us. We should be there. We don't have any.
But again, the issue of having no bushwhacking supplies created a scenario where it was completely impossible to check that zone. So we abandoned it almost as immediately as we stopped there, especially with hearing the horde roaring from the student union, which signified that they were now on the march.
We don't have any.
Nobody gave us anything.
Hey, we gotta go. I just heard them.
Go, zombies, go.
Get out of eyesight.
We just need to break line.
Yeah. Should have. But
Guys, just move so they can't see you. If they can't see you, they won't see you.
yes. Yeah.
Yep.
We're spotted.
Yeah, they came around. They're following us now.
Yep, they're on our ass now.
Yep. So much for the other group doing a suicide run.
We're hard to like slow people.
All we knew is that we had to get distance from the zombie horde behind us, and it didn't really matter where we were going. We just had a long string of humans, so the people in the back were like, "Hurry up, run, go!" So I just moved wherever the group was moving, and I assumed we were moving in the right direction we needed to, which I think the humans in front of us knew what they were doing because we hooked a left there and headed towards the globe, which we knew was the location of one of our mods.
Don't get left behind! Hey, support! Make sure, I mean, it's fine, but whatever.
They're good. They're good. They're good.
Yeah, they're chilling. Dad, I got you. Keep going. Oh, no.
Who's that?
Eli, get up here.
Well, that's yellow. Or, oh, is that? Oh, no fucking way. That's green. Is that not green?
That?
We found our guy.
Yeah.
This is pink.
Oh, shit. What?
I'm gonna radio it. Where are we at? Pink is globe? Pink is globe. Yeah, radio that.
Well, we're here first.
Pink, this is pink. We gotta move.
Where's next? This is a road up here.
Is glow. Pink is glow.
Yeah, we can go this way. We can go this way.
I might be the
Are we going Oak?
so, but I might be
I don't know if we can reach Oak because we don't have any
Do you know where
supplies.
we are?
Yeah, I know where we are.
Do you know? Okay, so it's Oak, Cone, and Cone is the parking garage near the.
Cone is down that way.
Yeah, like by the place that we did the tournament, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's around there.
We're going Cone. We're going Cone.
Going Cone, yeah, which is towards that way.
It's risk of rain.
It's like it's pretty far, right?
Yeah, well, it's not that far, honestly.
Where are we going?
Because we're starting to head towards the edge of campus anyway. Cone.
It is on the edge of campus, right?
Right. So here. This is Cone. That's Cone there.
Yes.
And it's above, I think. It's in like a... Oh.
Keep it moving.
All right, I'm with you, Michael. Keep an eye forward just in case. We have to go that way. Yep, yep. Because it's not as close to the road as we think. Right, right. Yeah. Actually, be careful because that's Culverd. Yeah, yeah. We probably have to go through Culverd, but I don't know if there's gonna be any zombies hanging out there. But you're gonna be very cautious about the edges. Yeah.
Probably the other 2/3 are like
Following other people. I don't think they're that organized right now to be able to camp a spot. Especially because this is kind of a weird spot to enter. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, they're coming around on our right. Who's right? There's one right there. He doesn't have his headband on. Yeah. They're radioing in. It's yeah, it is here. It's not exactly where I thought it would be, but one note I'll interject here is one major addition to this year's event was a dedicated hydration station that both human and zombie players could access freely. I just wanted to give props to that from an event perspective. Although I never personally needed to access that, the fact that they were taking hydration seriously and providing resources accordingly showed to me that they were just taking steps to improve the optics of HvZ from just a collegiate game people play for fun and it's not a super serious thing to a legitimate national invitational that schools should, prioritize a little bit more. I'm gonna scout ahead.
nah. The heat's kind of gone. Good.
What color? It's what? It's blue. It's blue. There's pink that way, but yeah. What color are you? Yeah, zombies are that way, guys. I'd be careful. There's a whole horde. We do us this way as well, so. So now that we already knew that globe was pink, and we knew that the mod at Cone was blue, it left us with either Oak or Woodward Hall as the two final locations that we would need to locate our mod in. Yeah. So we might have to rethink now. What's the third location? There's three.
No, dude, I only
Zombies
see one.
in this bush! Be
Tank.
careful.
Yellow tank.
Watch right!
Yellow tank.
We're gonna try and split off from y'all, see if we can hit some buckets while you guys take the heat.
Well, yeah. Blue is that way. So.
We're going left here. Hey, James.
Which? Where's the other location? Do you know the building?
Rogers has got it.
All right. I'll ask him.
Wait, you guys got it. We're gonna try and just grab some edge runs while you guys go.
That is a terrible idea, but
Whatever.
Our group really was just a little bit too massive to move effectively, so John's smaller group decided to split off and try to find our mod a little bit faster. Without really knowing how they were going to relay that information to us, I was just like, okay, like, cool, have fun, like, enjoy yourselves, I guess. Because they're trying to scout ahead to the next location. This location is not where we need to go. This is blue. I have a feeling it was in the location we started on, but we didn't have any gear, so we couldn't bushwhack it. But also, we would have been stuck by zombies anyway, I guess. So from here, with that small group splitting off from us, we moved to the south of Cone, where we were going to try to swing around the perimeter of the play area to enter the back of Woodward Eagle to check on that mod.
Spread out along the stairs.
Ross!
What? Why are we just crossing in the middle of the road? How are we sticklers about not stepping outside the pink tape and then we just jaywalk and that's fine?
I don't know, man. Does it still work? Like, if you're just rattling around in there, it's this. Oh, it's that. Okay. Because we used to hang off of my vest. I don't know why we completely skipped tone, but that's cool.
It was blue.
Wait, did you go up there and check?
We passed the group that already went there.
Oh, and they told us?
Mhm.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
Well, I know which one we're going to. I'm not trying to be that person.
Yeah. Well, my hope is that it wasn't the first one we went to, and then we didn't have the flagging tape to get to it at Oak.
We can go back to the Union and grab tape.
Yeah, at this point, if we go to the last one and it's yellow, then...
They are coming on our back.
Here, Oliver,
Hey,
excuse me, buddy.
You guys are the rear guard right now. There's a roadway. I'm trying not to bump the butt. I was genuinely like grabbing you.
It was my fault, I kind of... Yeah. Michael, are you taking us all the way around the road back to Woodward? Or are we cutting through? I think it's probably smart.
For either Woodward or Student Union.
We don't have a lot of options being where we are right now.
Yeah. Well, Student Union doesn't really make sense right now because Woodward Eagle's right here.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
That side of the street out of bounds?
No. It's not out of bounds.
It's like on the line.
Up to the greenway.
Okay. You say so.
The greenway's on the other side of the stadium.
Yeah, should have trusted my gut here. I knew the perimeter was right in the middle of the road because I, again, made the map, cutting off access to the adjacent sidewalk there along with the entirety of the track and field. Not really like it mattered in the grand scheme of things, but our group movement and decision-making here was starting to feel really sloppy to me. Oh, Rainbow!
I'm headed. They're going to cut through this grass and cut you guys
We're
off.
crossing to the left.
They're crossing.
And you guys better hurry your ass up. No, he's right. He's right. He's right. They
What?
move! We can cross again. That's fine. They're fucked.
Keep it moving!
Guys, zombies are turned around. Again, far ahead.
Green team, take it up! Move!
No, we found pink and blue is excellent. So we need to go to 2 more and hope that one of them is fucking green.
We need to hope that Woodward is green.
Real unlucky.
Yeah. I mean, if we can't, then we can go around the corner and then go back onto Craver.
One is on the street.
Yeah. Wait, what? Woodward is in the quad.
Right again. Where's the quad?
So Woodward is this building here on the corner, and Woodward Eagle is inside of it, away from the street. So it might not be bushwhacked from this area. It might. Well, there's a bushwhack path there.
Hey, listen. We can get back to spawn regardless, because there are sidewalks there.
Yeah, of course
So
we can.
Keep on this path.
If we can't make it up there, we just go to spawn.
Yes, and then
And then, yep.
Woodward Halls sounds very promising.
Yeah, I mean, if we could turn right, I mean, those stairs right there are right to Woodward Eagle, but it's not bushwhacked, so. Actually, that's bushwhacked. Hold on. I'm gonna go scout this.
Yes, please.
Nope. So it was going to be time for plan B. We were going to try to work our way up the side road towards Student Union, regroup, try to head into Student Union, see if there's any flagging tape left, which I knew there wasn't going to be any flagging tape left. But we're going to try to do it and then leave Student Union again to attempt to bushwhack either into Oak or into Woodward Eagle and try to find our mob. Back to spawn. Yeah, we need flagging tape. We can't go to Elm or Woodward Eagle without flagging tape. All right, so we can get to Woodward Eagle because people have been there before, but we're gonna have to go the long way around. We're gonna have to go back in from Killbox and circle back in.
Hey, zombie. They're a zombie now. We're going to work. Do we want to run him or a zombie now?
Our group's moderator that was following us through multiple missions that we were with them, and especially in this one, continued to enforce how strict walking within the bushwhacking zones were. They did slowly ramp up that like kind of consideration over time from like little warnings and like earlier missions to now being like, if you step out at all, like I am eliminating you without any regret. The consensus from other mods was that as long as it wasn't anything egregious or breaking any of the game meta or trying to avoid getting tagged, they just weren't really going to care that much. They were going to be like, hey, just like get back on the play area. Don't worry about it. Like if you step a foot off, not a big deal, but like try to do your best. But in this situation, Nick was trying to get around 2 people in front of him to get back to where I was to tell me something. And as he was trying to get around them, one of those people in front of him like stepped sideways, not knowing he was behind them, trying to get around. And because they sidestepped, bumped his shoulder, and he got knocked off the footpath, and he gets turned into a zombie, which I thought was like kind of ridiculous. It didn't really feel very fair. I'm sure he could have argued the point if he wanted to, but I don't think he felt like it was worth doing, and it ended his day there.
Now make him think about it.
Alan, come up here.
Any specials?
Yeah, somebody got him here.
I mean, we literally cannot shoot
Oh,
him.
my fault.
I'm so sorry. Don't do that, please.
But regardless, we were dealing with a lot of stress here. We had a lot of zombies that were still following us the entire time. We're now on the opposite side of the road, walking parallel with us, and we're trying to speed up and trying to then flank us at the crosswalk to try to stop us from getting to the student union, as well as like a ton of zombies that were coming from Killbucks to do the exact same thing. Some of those zombies now being the, I think, pink team, which was Alex and their whole team, which was now completely eliminated. They did their suicide run, and now they were going to try to tag us out. And I guess that created a lot of anxiety and stress from our human players.
Heads up in front, up ahead.
Contact front.
I was trying to run up to his
Left,
just
go
going
down
left.
there.
Yeah.
Go! There's Z's left! Push through! Push through! We have to push through hard!
G8.
Go!
Wait, did I get you? No.
I'm pretty sure I got
Did you get me before?
I shot you with the disc. Oh! Because you ran by and I was like...
Which I get it. Like, you don't want to get tagged out. It's a scary situation to be in when you're surrounded by zombies. But pushing players out of the way to rush to the front to avoid being tagged is just a terrible idea from a safety standpoint. And at this point, it's very clear I get pushed off the bushwhacking path. So I'm like, well, I got pushed off. Am I turning into a zombie or am I not? Like, it's kind of like this whole like idea of being super strict is ridiculous when I'm physically getting bodied off of the path I'm supposed to stay on. What made this worse is I think this decision was initiated by a mod, and I felt like that created way too much unnecessary chaos and risk from a safety perspective. And look, it just rained. So like these walking paths are slippery and wet, and I don't know what the whole reason of doing that was. I felt like that was just like really uncharacteristic of what a mod should be doing. And so by the time I got to the student union, I was like kind of over the sloppiness of this entire mission from like a leadership standpoint, and wasn't sure what I wanted to do next.
I'm the mod.
Question.
Yes.
Is this spot in the safe zone, or do we have to go around?
You guys will get it because it's technically the same zone. Technically, that's what every other mod's been doing.
Has anybody gone for
That's fine, man. I just don't want people getting pushed over and getting knocked over trying to push through. Like, if you get tagged, you get tagged. I don't want to see people pushing through the guard.
Except I need the stairwell.
Yes. Hey.
Remind me, it's on this corner, yeah?
Yeah. He's going to get taken with the bushwhack.
If we start moving, then
With the optics of things kind of moving the direction they were outside of the gameplay itself, and again, I'm battling a very severe migraine. I just decided I'd had enough, and I debanded. It was not worth me getting any more stressed out or hurting myself any further or risking my safety for something this insignificant. I'm done. I can't do this right now. And of course, not even 5 minutes later, I see the rest of my group is now in the student union with me, and they had also abandoned, like, right at the front of the student union. So I guess it made me feel a little bit better about abandoning, but it still wasn't fun for anyone involved. So green team abandoned the mission. Pink team, which was most of the Detroit Dart Talk people, they had been completely wiped out. I think blue had abandoned, kind of. They tried to do the mission pretty well. Again, listen to BroadcastZach and his whole thing, but I think some of them got eliminated too, but they mostly survived. And to everyone's shock, yellow team was the only team not in the student union, And they show up at the very end, and they were the ones who actually completed the mission. So we were all pumped for them and how they did, but we also wanted to hear like what happened if you like completed the mission. So once you brought all the 4 items to your mod and like I guess set up the ward system, the mod would then give players a set of squishmallows, which are like little stuffed animal things, with little paper hats on their heads and a bunch of different colors. Then the mod asked if they wanted to finish the mission now and leave the other humans defenseless or stay and fight, which I thought was like kind of silly because like they should leave because I think they were the only humans left at that point. If they chose to stay and fight, the mod would then put on a dunce cap that they were hiding, which would be a certain color, and then they would start going after the humans. So this was a new special zombie that was only for this mission, and the only way they could be stunned is if you threw a throwable, which was one of the squishmallows, but you had to throw a squishmallow with a hat that matched their dunce hat color. For a little extra flavor, groups that collected squishmallows from the previous mission in Mission 3 would unlock wildcard squishmallows as a part of Mission 4, which are basically just throwables that didn't require you to have the hats matched up, so you could just throw them at any dunce cap zombie and it would stun them. So I thought that was kind of cool, the overlap between what we did in Mission 3 affecting what we do in Mission 4. From that point, we quickly got out of the student union per request of the administration, because it was like 9 o'clock, I think, and then the whole building closes at 9:30. Our group went back to the Airbnb, like immediately showered. I got some pain medication for my head, and then I like fell asleep immediately after and didn't wake up until the next morning.
Unicorn!
Watch dodgeball! Oh, jeez.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Sorry, I just saw